On for review today will be a fragrance that I've had in my fragrance arsenal for a very, very long time. Since 7th grade, it was my signature scent in 7th grade. For a whole year, I went through maybe 2 or 3 bottles of this. And, of course, about a year and a half ago, I picked up another bottle. I haven't gone through the whole thing yet. And that is, of course, Dior's Higher. Now, this is not to be confused with Higher Energy or Higher Black, as there are 2 flankers to this fragrance. There is a 1.7 ounce and a 3.4 ounce. You're looking at anywhere between $45 and $80 American. This was released in 2001, and it was not discontinued, but this is very difficult to find. You can find it on FragranceNet, Amazon.com, eBay, but it doesn't say that it's discontinued. But you can't. I haven't been able to find it at the mall. Multiple malls actually. The Syracuse Mall, the mall that's closest to me. Nowhere seems to really carry this, but they do have it on the Dior website. So not discontinued, but fairly difficult to get your hands on in person. But you can order it. The 2 parfumers behind this fragrance, I actually have to read this because I cannot pronounce their names very well. Olivier, oh goodness, I'm just going to call him Olivier P. He did 1 Million, and he did Arpège, Lanvin Homme, and he also did Mont Blanc Legend. He's a pretty good parfumer. He's got some big ones under his belt. Also, Olivier Guillotine, I think is his name. He did Sirius Number 7, Ed Hardy Man, and Ed Hardy Love and Luck. Now, those 2 joined together and made this fragrance in 2001. So as you can see, 2 parfumers that really know what they're doing. Of course, this fragrance came before all those, I'm pretty sure, except for maybe Arpège. So since then, they've made some really good fragrances. Now, this is the presentation right here. This is the 50 ml bottle. This is going to be kind of difficult to pick up on camera, I think, since it's white. Dior Higher right there. Or Higher Dior. Some information on the bottom there. And your date code should be on the back right there, if you can pick that up. Yep. I do not have the box to show you, as I have had this for over a year and a half and probably threw the box out. So I'm going to show you the sprayer real quick. Make sure I'm not wearing anything. Sprayer is very nice. I really actually like the sprayer. I absolutely love this fragrance. It just brings me back, obviously. So the notes in this fragrance are citrus, basil, pear, spice, cypress, coriander, rosewood, pear tree, and musk. Now, I don't know. You get the pear note very slightly in the beginning. It's more or less a nice added fruity undertone with the citrus. You do get a big blast of citrus and spices. The spices are primarily pepper, I think, and you do get some of the herbal notes from the rosemary and cypress. But overall, it's a very invigorating, uplifting, citrusy, spicy fragrance. That's what it is, spicy and citrusy. It's refreshing. It's good for all year long. It's a great signature scent, worthy of a signature scent all year long, in my opinion. The fragrance itself doesn't necessarily smell like anything that I could personally compare it to, and I've smelled a lot of fragrances. It is a little unique for being a citrus fragrance, and like I said, it's not really comparable to a whole lot in the men's area, and actually it's not comparable at all to either one of these gentlemen perfumers that did this fragrance. Not comparable to anything else that they've done. So it is unique in its own right, but it's not super unique. It's still just going to be a citrus fragrance. When I first bought this did kind of somewhat remind me of Tommy Hilfiger. This was a long time ago. It doesn't, kind of, I guess, I could see a little bit of a reminiscent to Tommy Hilfiger, Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger, but not really. It does have that same sort of fresh citrus fragrance, and you will get compliments with this stuff. So, jumping into it, like I said, all year long, perfect for all year long. You can be somewhat liberal with the sprayer. In the heat, I would stick to maybe 3. In the winter, maybe 4 or 5. You don't have to sit there and overdose on the sprays, but you can be somewhat liberal with it since it is like a citrus-based fragrance. Keep in mind that the herbal notes and the spices will kick in and keep it sticking around for a while. The projection and longevity on this fragrance are actually both very good, especially considering what the fragrance is. Now, in my opinion, this fragrance is very underrated in this community, and on base notes even. Not a whole lot of people have good things to say about this fragrance. But I really do believe that this is somewhat unique for being a citrus fragrance. Do I think that it's better than Dior's Homme Sport? No, I do not. Not at this point. Do I think it's better than maybe Aqua Fahrenheit? Yeah. Do I think it's better than Dune? Yes. So some of their other fresher fragrances, I think this is better than. Higher energy, it's better than that. But I do not think it's better than Dior Homme Sport, in my opinion. Ultimately, Dior Homme Sport is one of my absolute favorites anyways, so that would be kind of difficult to surpass something that I have such high standards for in the first place. But this fragrance is good in its own right. It's very different as far as citrus fragrances, but you'll feel like you've smelt it before in the designer area. Bits and pieces of fragrances combined into one is what this is. It's the spiciness and the citrusy fragrance, but in the dry down it gets very musky and a little woody. I would definitely throw in that if you don't like heavy musk, you might not like the dry down of this fragrance. Once you get to like the 6-hour mark, it starts to get very musky. This lasts about 8 hours on my skin. You can definitely spray it on your clothes. I always do with this one. And the projection is very good for the first hour and a half or so. Age for this thing, anyone. Ultimately, this one is one of the most versatile fragrances in my collection. Stuff is good stuff. It's good stuff. I feel like everyone should at least try this stuff because I had such a passion for it when I was younger that I feel like maybe a lot of people have missed out on this fragrance. I mean, I've read whole forums about people being disappointed that they can't find this stuff, that it's so difficult to find these days, and just being completely frustrated by it. And I was, it's understandable because this thing is very versatile and it's worthy of being a signature scent, in my opinion. So, I mean, like I say, I just feel like this is one of those underrated gems that people should give a chance. It's going to be very difficult because you're pretty much going to have to blind buy it. Like I said, though, there's been fragrances that have been hyped up in this community that are way worse than this thing could ever be. So, I mean, the hell with it, you know what I mean? If you feel like you can trust my word and you want to blind buy this stuff for $45, really, it's not like you're going to be losing out a whole lot. Besides, buy it and keep it, and if you don't like it, you can sell this thing on eBay in a few years. I guarantee it, for some ridiculous price because it's already impossible to find in person. And it's only a matter of time before Dior decides to just discontinue it altogether. Like I say, you can find it on their website, but getting more and more difficult. I know that one of my subscribers mentioned to me that he found it at a terminal switching flights in Chicago. So that's like, different places that you wouldn't expect to find it, like a perfume or a cologne shop at the terminal. But as far as like Sephora, Macy's, J.C. Penney's, you're not gonna. I haven't seen it, and I bought all my bottles when I was wearing this at J.C. Penney's at the mall. So I haven't seen it in years. But that being said, I feel like this fragrance is very well done. It's great for casual use. I don't know if I necessarily would use it for dressing up. Basically, your casual, everyday type of stuff in work and school, you will get compliments with this fragrance. It is a 10 out of 10 when it comes to the compliment factor. I compliment after compliment this fragrance. Um, it's one of those that's going to be a crowd pleaser, and I genuinely believe that most people will enjoy this fragrance. Spicy citrus. That's what you're getting out of it. The pear tree and the pear, not that I can really detect that it's. I mean, I guess I don't really know what pear tree smells like, but it's just, like I say, a spicy citrus. So, not really much I can say on the scent itself, just other than it's good, and I believe that it's underrated, and I think that everyone should at least give this stuff a try. Um, in my opinion, this fragrance is an 8 out of 10. It's one of the most versatile. It's good for anything, like I say, is good projection, good longevity, decent price. The only problem is it's getting hard to find, and it might be a little too youthful to some people. I would recommend that if you're 35 or older to look at somewhere else, but I mean, you can pull it off no matter what because of the spices in this fragrance. But high schoolers, middle school is when I was wearing it primarily, so anyone can pull this stuff off. That being said, 8 out of 10, and I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.